Self-discipline and consistency is important because you're not always going to feel motivated, so you must be disciplined. Hi, my name is Senia. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about how to be self-disciplined and consistent to achieve our goals. I've used these habits for many things in my life. My biggest accomplishment so far is graduating from university, working full-time, and going to school full-time. And I used self-discipline and consistency to make sure that I was able to get my degree and accomplish the goal that I set myself up for. The first 3 steps I'm going to talk about today all go hand in hand with each other because you have to define the goals, you have to create the plan, and then you have to develop the routine to achieve said goal. So let's get right into it. So to start off, what is the definition of self-discipline? Self-discipline is to pursue something despite the temptation to abandon it. And the definition of consistency is to continue to do something over and over again, even when you feel like you're not motivated to do so. You put your mind out to go ahead and do that thing. Self-discipline and consistency is important because you're not always going to feel motivated, so you must be disciplined to actually do the things to accomplish the goal that you're going out for. The first thing to being self-disciplined and consistent is to define your goals. Set your mind on what it is that you want to achieve. Once you set your mind on what it is that you want to achieve, it is much easier to actually be self-disciplined and consistent. For example, this could be anything from like finishing school, maybe you want to start your fitness journey, or you want to learn how to cook, or it could be anything. But once you set your goal on what it is that you want to achieve, now you're able to move on to the second thing, which is building a routine. Now that you have defined your goal, the second thing is to create a plan. A breakdown of smaller goals to achieve a larger goal. You're going to develop manageable tasks. Now you're able to actually see your goal on how you can achieve that and create some habits around this goal. And it's also easy for you to track your progress this way. So for example, if your goal was to start your fitness journey and maybe you wanted to gain muscle or lose X amount of weight, or maybe you just wanted to see if you can run a mile within 10 minutes, what you would do there is list out how many days a week you'll be going outside or on the treadmill, and you will try to run for 5 minutes straight, then you would try to run for 10 minutes straight to actually reach your goal of running a mile within 8 minutes, or to lose X amount of weight in a certain amount of time. So once you've had these plans, now you're able to actually put this in motion. Once you get into the swing of things with your plan, that's when now you can track your progress. When you create the plan, make sure that you give yourself some notes so you're able to see exactly where it is that you started and be able to mark off, or maybe put in a planner or a notes page so you can see how far you've come with your goal. If you start off with one thing, you want to know by, okay, a week, now I'm here. 2 weeks I'm here, a month I'm here. And that's the beauty of having a plan and having some notes, or maybe even a journal to go along with your plan, so you're able to track your progress on how you're doing so far, and maybe some things you can make changes to and really see what's working for you, or maybe you need to change something, maybe you don't need to change anything at all. The third step is to develop a routine. So this is where consistency comes in, because now once you've defined your goals, you've created the plan, and now you're in the routine stage, you need to find out, okay, what are you spending time on already? What are your obligations that you already have in your life? And sometimes that means you have a job, or you have school, or maybe you meal prep on a certain day. Find time in your schedule of when you can put time towards this goal. Then you're able to make a schedule that's not too jam-packed, but just enough for you to actually be able to achieve your goal without putting too much on your plate, and now you have the risk of burning out. When you're creating this routine, make sure that your daily schedule can support this new goal of yours. When you put time into something every day, this is when you can build consistency. Because if you are making sure that you are going on your walks at a certain time for a certain amount of time during the day, then now you're able to to make sure you're being consistent on this. You want to make sure that you're able to fit little things in that contribute to your goal daily. Say you want to start a business as well. If you have another job, or if you go to school, if you just have other obligations, sometimes you can't spend an entire hour on your goal. Maybe you can only spend 10 minutes on building your business that day. But you want to make sure you put some time away for it so you're able to put little baby things into the goal that you're trying to achieve daily. This is where you are going to build consistency. I cannot say this enough. To continue, you also need to put in your schedule times for being relaxed, leisure activities, hanging out with family, playing with your dog, your cat, time for yourself. You want to make sure that you incorporate these things, because when you're trying to achieve a specific goal, you want to make sure that you're not putting all of your time into your goal, because that can once again lead to burnout. You're not going to be as effective in the goal, because you need some time to make sure that you can actually take a step back from your goal and take a breath, because at the end of the day you are human, and when you give yourself the time to take a step back and then come back to it, you have an entirely different flow to it, you have an entirely different perspective, and you also can make sure that you're not letting yourself go, you're not letting your health go, you are keeping up with your relationships. Use your schedule as something to make sure that you are still incorporating all the different components in your life, so you're not just letting one thing fall to the wayside and then you're putting all your time into the goal. You want to make sure that you are having a work-life balance. And once you get into the flow of the schedule, you might even realize that your schedule just might not be working for you. You might be losing sleep, you might just be doing too much. So don't be afraid to accommodate your schedule. This is your life, this is your goal. And if you need to take a step back, realize that like, okay, I need to do this more, and maybe I need to do something else in my life a little less. You know, you have to be able to weigh out when your schedule is actually just becoming overwhelming, so you can assess and take a step back and fix that. Because if you are overwhelmed, stressed out, you're not actually putting out quality work anymore. And you want to make sure when you're achieving your goals, you're putting your best foot forward. That can be the same in your life. Your life can have a really big effect on other things that you're trying to accomplish in your goals as well. So don't be afraid to accommodate. See what works best for you, what works for the next person. Doesn't mean it's going to necessarily work for you, and that's okay. We're all different. We all have different schedules, and we're just different people. We just work differently. So make sure that you are taking the time to assess and reassess, to make sure that you're able to actually get done what it is that you want to get done in a way where you're able to give your 100%. So when you're trying to build habits around your goals, make sure that you're starting small, okay? For example, fitness once again. If you're trying to run a mile in 8 minutes, but you've only ever run a mile in 15 minutes, let's see if you can shave off a minute, or if you can shave off even 30 seconds. Let's be real with ourselves, honest with ourselves. Okay, this is where I'm currently am, so where can I go? And this also goes for example, if you want to start going on your run in the morning, because that's the only time you can fit it in, set yourself up for your future and put your workout clothes out the night before. Pack your gym bag the night before. So now when you wake up, all you have to do is put your clothes on, put your shoes and your socks on, you're ready to go, you're out the door. So these are little things that you can do. Also, another example, if you want to start small, if you want to start eating better, this is not necessarily food, but start with making sure that you drink a cup of water before you have a cup of coffee or your caffeine in the morning. That's actually a good habit in general. Even if that's not your goal, maybe try to put that in there, because that's actually pretty good for you. It's not good to have caffeine. Anyway, I'm going off the topic, but there's a little fact for your health. If maybe that is your goal, maybe that's not. Moving on, you must embrace the process of achieving your goals, because it is so nice for us to set up this plan and set up this routine and think that it's all going to work perfectly.
Nothing in life is going to be thrown at us, and it's all going to be great. We just have to stick by the plan, go on autopilot, and it's all going to be perfect.
Unfortunately not. Life is always going to be lifing, no matter how much we plan and write it down and tell ourselves that it's going to be perfect. Things in life are going to happen. For example, when I set out to go to college and finish college, college, my school shut down. I shared in another video, my first college that I went to shut down. I spent 2 years of my college career just to have to basically kind of start all over. Now, instead of it taking me 4 years to finish my bachelor's degree, it now took me 6 years to finish my bachelor's degree. And you have to be prepared for when life is going to just life and things are going to happen. You have to give yourself the chance to pivot, because I could have just thrown in the towel right there and could have just been like, forget it, this isn't for me, like I shouldn't even set up to do that. Like, no, that's not the mindset that you need to have when you're trying to achieve something, especially if they're big goals. You just have to roll with it, adjust with it, and keep your head up high. Honestly, that's where faith comes in. Hey, I set out to do this goal, life is going to be lifing. And once you already start with the fact that you know that life is going to be lifing, no matter this perfect plan that you set up for yourself, you're already one step ahead when it comes to the mental things that you're going to have to go through to achieve said goal. When you have setbacks, these are learning opportunities, growth opportunities. This is when you'll be able to see, okay, if something goes wrong, how should you handle it, or how should you go about it to fix the problem? Can you fix the problem? If it is something that you can fix, how can you change it? And if something that you can't fix, don't spend your time worrying about it, because at the end of the day, that's just going to take you away from continuing to move you through your journey. The last thing I want to share is to celebrate milestones. You do not only want to celebrate once you've achieved the big goal, you want to celebrate when you've achieved the little goals in between. This can be anything from taking yourself out on a little date. Maybe you want to do a little home date by yourself, or maybe you want to go out to dinner with your friends, or you want to go buy yourself a little something. Obviously, treat yourself within your means, and every treat and celebration that you do for yourself for each little milestone is completely up to you. We all live different lives, we all have different interests. So whatever it is that you feel, okay, I achieved this, okay, well, I can do this for myself now. And it can be something as small as like, okay, I finally ran a mile within 10 minutes. You shave 5 minutes down, hypothetically. Maybe you want to buy yourself a new pair of running shoes, okay? So whether you need to save your money to make sure that you can get yourself those new running shoes, or if you already have the money just to get yourself those new running shoes, celebrate the fact that you went from 15 minutes to 10 minutes and now you're going to buy yourself these things. This gives yourself the motivation to continue to keep going towards your goal to achieve that end goal as big as you have just grown your previous goal. That's all I have to share for today. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.